This is former Vice President Joe Biden, the Democratic presidential nominee. On August 13th, Biden demanded that the federal government enact a national mask mandate.
Every single American should be wearing a mask when they're outside for the next 3 months at a minimum. So let's institute a mask mandate nationwide, starting immediately.
As you may know, the federal government cannot demand that every state in the union mandate mandatory mask wearing because it is unconstitutional. Only states and localities can set these rules and enforce them, and Biden knows this. And that's the strategy here. The Democrats are attempting to undermine the Trump administration by trying to paint them, and Republicans in general, as anti-maskers. And since many Democrat voters have no idea how federalism works, they will believe Joe Biden.
There's overwhelming evidence that the mask, and depending on the type of mask you wear, increases exponentially the prospect that you will not infect anyone when you cough, sneeze, sing, shout.
Now, I live in New York City, a densely populated area, so I don't have a problem wearing a mask because I don't trust anyone. And if a mask is going to reduce chances of someone spreading the virus to me, I'm okay with it. For now.
When I get occasionally confronted with a person in public about wearing a mask, I say, look, this is America. Be a patriot. Protect your fellow citizens. Step up. Do the right thing.
And then everybody started to slow clap, right, Joe? In other words, I do not believe that anyone has gotten close enough to Joe Biden to confront him about having to wear a mask, nor do I believe that Joe Biden has ever stopped and responded to someone who is against wearing masks, let alone had a conversation with him. Besides, for every person caught making a scene on video about having to wear a mask, there are 10 million people that wear it anyway because they just want to get their groceries and go home.
Wearing a mask, every American wearing a mask outdoors is going to get our businesses back and to full strength long term, and we're going to get our country back on track.
Biden is saying that every American should wear a mask outdoors. Really? Even if you're not around other people? Where's the nuance here? What is the science behind this? Well, Joe never explained how this policy would work and wouldn't take any questions from reporters, not that they would have asked him any tough questions in the first place. So when you demand that people have to wear a mask outside, regardless of whether anyone is around or not, well, that's when people might start questioning your motives. Because if you're jogging alone, walking alone, sitting in a park alone, or standing alone with your wife at a war memorial, you're not going to spread the virus to anyone. And there is really no science behind wearing a mask while riding a bike, but Biden's gonna do it anyway. And I guess my point is that Biden says listen to the scientists, but is confused about the basic science behind wearing a mask.
That mask is not so much to protect me. It's if I have an undiagnosed, it's to protect you against me. It's to protect other people. And it's called patriotism. It's called responsibility. It's called making sure you look out for the other person.
And that's exactly the point of wearing masks, to protect others from you. But 2 minutes later, Joe made a rather conflicting statement.
You don't wear this mask, you end up hurting someone or you get infected. You take it home to your child. You could take it home to your mother, your father, your husband, your wife.
Previously, Biden said that the mask protects you from spreading the virus. Now he is wrongly saying that if you don't wear the mask, you could bring it home to your loved ones. Unless he's suggesting that you should wear a mask at home, I wouldn't put it past him at this point. Furthermore, the mask Biden is holding up doesn't protect you from the virus. It only protects you from spreading it to others. And if you think that Joe is confused, let me introduce you to one of the members of his team, Communications Director Kate Bedingfield.
July 28th, Joe Biden said he hadn't been tested for the coronavirus, but this week your campaign refused on 2 occasions to answer the question of whether or not he had been tested. So can you clarify, has Joe Biden been tested for COVID? Has he had the virus?
He has not had the virus.
Has he been tested?
He has not been tested.
Hang on. How can you definitively say that someone doesn't have the virus if they have never been tested? And here's the better question. Why hasn't Biden been tested for the virus?
I have not been protected. I have not been tested for the coronavirus for two reasons. One, I've had no symptoms, as my mother would say, knock on wood.
But if Biden listened to the scientists, he would know that a person can be asymptomatic, which means that you may have the virus and spread it without showing any symptoms.
And number two, I haven't wanted to take anybody else's place, so it doesn't look like I'm, moving in the front of the line here, is be tested relatively soon.
He doesn't want to jump the line. He's a 77-year-old man running for president of the United States. I think he gets priority. I mean, God forbid he's exposed and contracts the virus. It's in his and the party's best interest to catch it early on so that he can receive treatment as soon as possible.
However, we have put the strictest protocols in place.
And these protocols are so strict that when he's in a church, the parishioners speak with their masks off, and Joe Biden can walk around for 11 minutes talking to the same parishioners without wearing one either. And at roundtables, indoors and outdoors, guests take off their masks when they speak. Joe Biden removes his mask too, and then ironically complains about Trump not wanting to wear one.
The president doesn't wear one, so why would anybody
Correct.
need one?
But yeah, only the strictest protocols are in place.
With,
So then K-Beds spoke more about those really strict protocols when it comes to Biden's new running mate, Senator Kamala Harris.
We've put in place incredibly strict protocols to ensure that everybody involved who is around Vice President Biden, who's around Senator Harris, is undergoing the appropriate testing.
So if Biden's people and Harris's people are undergoing the appropriate testing, then why do Biden and Harris need to be sitting so far apart in this ABC News interview? Don't they work together now? This is a freaking joke. And why couldn't Harris and Biden get within 10 feet of each other at the Democratic National Convention? If you're so sure that neither of them have the virus, then why can't they give each other a hug or at least shake each other's hand on stage? Kamala must have explicitly been told not to leave that star circle. Never ever leave the star circle. Speaking of the Democratic National Convention, Joe Biden would not put his mask down. Watch Joe awkwardly hold a mask in his hand during the moment he was officially nominated. It's one of the biggest moments of your life, Joe. You don't want to be seen without that mask. Then immediately after his wife's keynote speech, Joe came out to congratulate her, and when she gave him a hug, she snagged her hand on Joe's mask. You're a man, Joe. You have pockets. Put your mask in one of them. And speaking of masks, remember how Joe called for a national mask mandate that would last at least through November? Well, not so fast.
If I'm your president, on day one, we'll implement the national strategy I've been laying out since March. We'll have a national mandate to wear a mask.
And under the Biden administration, we'll be wearing masks until 2024. But don't worry, I'm sure they won't issue a mandatory vaccine mandate or anything. So at the end of the convention, Biden walked outside to take part in the celebration. Here you can see Joe's mask is pulled down because he wanted to get a better look at the fireworks or something, I don't know. And then he pulled his mask off to shout to reporters. So much for your patriotic duty, huh, Joe?
That the mask increases prospect that you will not infect anyone when you shout, "Be a patriot."
Protect your fellow citizens.
And that's it for now. Thanks for watching, sharing, and hitting that like button. Be sure to pick up an Asteroid 2020 t-shirt and some other cool items in my Teespring store. And then follow me on Twitter and Parler at Don't Walk Run. Thanks again for tuning in. Be sure that you're still subscribed to the channel. And as always, I hope to see you next time.